Well, we are going to go back to December 29th, 1995, a show part of their annual New Year's run. Or at this point, I don't know if it was annual actually. 95 was probably around the beginning of the annual New Year's run, maybe as far back as 93. It was not all done at Madison Square Garden. In fact, this show took place at a city in Massachusetts that I refuse to pronounce the way that you guys pronounce it. So I'm not even going to say it. We'll just say it took place at the Centrum Center. Centre. At the Centrum Centre it took place at. You guys would probably just pronounce it Cooster. All right, so how'd the first set? The first set was just hit after hit, just uninterrupted. My friend, all the way through Stash. All of it very good. Taste wasn't quite taste yet. Okay, so you got My Friend, Poor Heart, Down with Disease, Taste, NICU. And then you finally get to what I guess would be the highlights of the first set, Stash and Fluffhead. But, I mean, if your highlights were that My Friend and Down with Disease, which were, like, pretty normal, the Stash was normal, just, like, extended a little bit. Fluffhead was just, like, punch you right in the face, but, again, normal. Llama, Sweet Adeline, ending the set. So really not a lot to say about the first set other than it was just very good. And yeah, it's just they just kind of came out and played. They were just like, boom, we're hungry. And I don't know. We're just gonna blast you over the fucking head. You know what I mean? We don't have really no time for games, no time to talk. Let's just play. I mean, there was a little time for games, and certainly in the second set. Makisupa, Policeman, Cars, Trucks, and Buses is how they opened up the second set. So you wouldn't really think, maybe after that opening, necessarily like an all-timer's coming. I don't even remember what he said in Makisupa. He said something. It's like a forgotten song now. Every time I do one of these classic shows, it's like a song that we never get anymore pops up. This time, surprisingly, it's Makisupa. Sober Trey, man. Boring. Doesn't even do Makisupa Policeman anymore. Boring. So we get into Bathtub Gin, the real me Bathtub Gin. Most likely the highlight of the show. Like that Stash and Fluffhead was awesome. The McGrupp that's coming is awesome. But this Bathtub Gin, they just really hammer it home. It is just like tight, serious Bathtub Gin, and it just continues to build and build and build. Almost, maybe not as like the ones they play now are not quite this ferocious, but maybe something similar to just a really strong Type 1 Bathtub Gin now, but just on speed and steroids and testosterone. And then as it's building and building and building, you start to hear this little classic rock thing. I would have never recognized it as the real me, though. I would have recognized, like, ooh, what are they doing here? And then just like a nice transition, just a perfect alligator mouth into the real me, which they had just played at Halloween. So not long, a couple months later, mixing that in, as we know now, not a song that stuck around permanently. And then the real me really kind of jams out. They give it the good rock and roll feel. And then they eventually get back into Bathtub Gin, finish that up, and then the McGrupp following. It was just like a big celebration of what they had just played because the McGrupp was amazing. Then they get a little wild. Things get a little weird. Big black furry creatures from Mars. Mike's bass instructor. See, this is where I'm like, okay, I have not heard this show because I'm sure this would have rang some bells. If it wasn't the Bathtub Gin Real Me, I'm pretty sure I would have remembered Jim Stinnett coming out and joining Mike. And they played, they had a little bit of a jam there after the furry creatures from Mars. Apparently they had said in the notes there was some, I don't know, they played some Bach shit. And sorry, not a big classical music fan. I mean, I've heard of Bach. I think he's pretty good. Him and that Beethoven guy. So then, and then comes LaGrange, a powerful LaGrange right after the jam with Mike and his boss. Bouncing around the room, fire, ends the show. Golgi apparatus encore. But really, it was kind of all about the, just that strong first set that came out relentlessly blowing you away. Like, damn. Haven't these guys proven enough? And they had to go and do that. And then the second set, things get a little crazy. A little wild, a little improvised, I suppose. Probably not so improvised. They knew what they were going to do there. Who knows, though? Jim Stinnett? What was that guy's name? That was Jim Cornette. He always carried a tennis racket. I always thought that was Mike's tennis instructor, Jim Cornette. Turns out it was Jim Stinnett. And he was a bass instructor. It gets a little fuzzy. 95 was a long time ago. I wasn't even a fan then. I was really, like I've always said, I became a fan really during the hiatus. And as all I could do was just go back in time and look stuff up. I don't remember this show, though. I don't remember Jim Stinnett. I do have funny memories of a guy named Jim Cornette with a tennis racket, though, and Mike. But probably confusing that with something else. All right, guys. Boom. Love you. We're out of here. Thanks to Wally P. I don't know if did I say Wally P requested this? Strong channel member, Wally P. Big fan. Most very likely at this show, Wally P was. As well as the Pink Floyd Utah show that a lot of you skipped. A lot of you weren't even alive, it turns out. Didn't know I had so many youngsters watching this channel. Guys, don't ever grow up. I had to do some adult stuff here in the lately. Homeowners insurance and mailing, and it's all sucks. It's boring. It's not efficient. The delivery system's failing in this country, too. I don't know if you guys have felt it or not. But the post office was getting so slow. I was like, I'll give UPS a shot. Hampton whiteboards, gone. I don't know if you remember those Hampton whiteboards, but I thought they were beautiful. I was very, very rarely when I use the word proud of what I've done. And I wouldn't say I was proud of those whiteboards, but I wasn't embarrassed by those whiteboards. A lot of times I do this nonsense, and I just immediately feel stupid, and I'm ashamed of it all. But I thought those Hampton whiteboards looked damn good, man. I was happy with the outcome. I showed them to people. And UPS fucking destroyed them on their way to SE. Another channel member who's awesome. Boom, we're out of here. Love you guys. Good luck, good fishing. I don't know why I'm so excited. 197 people are going to watch this, but they're the 197 that matter. Yeah. Love you guys. Thanks, Wally P. SE, Spud, everybody else that's a member. Trunky. I don't think Trunky makes it this far, though. Colonel Foreman 77. Think we're back on. You changed that avatar on me, man. You changed your profile picture. I'm like, who the hell's this guy? I thought you were Urban Meyer for like a month. Kind of looked like Urban Meyer a little bit from my failing eyes and that little picture. I'm like, I think that's Urban Meyer.